Hello friends, welcome to Ikra Technology. Today we are going to learn how a Python program executes. So in previous topic we learned the basic syntax of Python. Today we are going to understand how that basic syntax execute behind the scenes and produce the output. So don't get scared by seeing this diagram. Let us understand it block by block. So what is source code? Source code is nothing but the Python syntax or Python code written in our Python file. So this is our source code and this is our source code file ending with .py extension. This source code is then fed to the interpreter. What is interpreter? Interpreter is something that executes the code line by line. So if this code is fed into the interpreter, it will first execute the line 1, means this line, then it will execute the line 2, which is this line. So it will execute line by line. Interpreter is further divided into three parts: compiler, bytecode and Python virtual machine. So what compiler does is, just a second, yeah. So compiler compiles the code. Basically it checks for the syntax of the code. If everything is correct in the code, then compiler compiles the source code into the bytecode. So for better understanding, what compiler does is it converts the source code into the bytecode. Let us consider the source code or Python as one language and bytecode as another language. Python is not directly understood by our CPU. For this, we can understand this better with an example. Let us consider you do not know English and I don't know Hindi. So how we will communicate? I will use a translator. I'll tell something to the translator in Hindi, then it will translate it to the English and it will convey it to you, right? So that's how translator works. Same happens here. The machine do not directly understand the source code. So what compiler does is converts the source code into the bytecode. Okay, so this bytecode is a lower language code understand by the virtual machine. Okay, this bytecode is fed to the virtual machine. Okay, this virtual machine generates the machine level instruction, which is then fed to the CPU that executes the program. Okay, so here CPU cannot directly execute your program. Here you need two conversions. First, source code must be converted to bytecode by compiler. Then this bytecode is fed to the virtual machine. That virtual machine will convert the bytecode to the machine level instruction, which is understood by our CPU or our operating system. Okay, if everything is fine, the code execution will take place and we will get the executed code or we will get the output. So what is error? Okay, error is something that arises when the code is syntactically wrong. Okay, to understand this better we will see here. Okay. Here the print function has the open braces but it does not have closing bracket. Okay, so here the syntax of the print statement is wrong. We will get error like this. See, syntax error, the bracket was never closed. So whenever the source code is fed to the interpreter, compiler will check if the code is correct or not. If the code is incorrect, it will generate error. But if the code is correct, then compiler will convert that source code to the bytecode, which is further fed to the Python virtual machine, which will convert it into the machine level code, and that machine level code will be executed. Okay, now what is source library in Python virtual machine? So source library is something, every programming language have a built-in library, okay, that can perform all the basic operations like arithmetic, logical and stuff like that. But there are certain advanced operation like advanced mathematics or file handling or input output operations that needs to be done. For that we need source libraries. Okay, you can better understand source library as you can take the basic calculator which does the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, but suppose you need to evaluate an equation. Okay, there are calculators available that can evaluate equations, but not the simple calculator we use. Okay, so for that you need to buy the scientific calculator that can evaluate the equation, right? So you need to use the another calculator, that is a scientific calculator. Same to perform the advanced mathematical operation, or to perform date and time operation, or to use random module, or to perform operations for interacting with operating systems. You need to use source libraries by importing them. Okay, this is what source library does. To summarize the whole process, what is happening here is source code is fed to the interpreter. Interpreter is divided into three parts: compiler, bytecode and Python virtual machine. Compiler check for the syntactical error and code line by line, and if there is an error in code, it generates the error. If there is no error in code, then compiler generates the bytecode that is fed to the Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine then convert that bytecode into the machine level code using the source library sometimes, or sometimes just using its direct built-in libraries. Okay, then we get the executed code, that is our output. So if everything is correct, then we will get the output like this. That's all about today's video. Thank you.